Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Ocean Voyager Gallery. It's good to see you. My name is Josh. I hope you're all having a great day. If you are standing right in front of the window, if you wouldn't mind finding a seat, you can either sit right where you are or up on the risers, just so the folks on the risers can see the bottom of the exhibit. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And as soon as I'm done, you can go right back up there if you want. A few quick words about this gallery, and then I'll tell you about some of the fish that we have in here. The Ocean Voyager Gallery holds 6.2 million gallons of water. It's roughly 3/4 of all the water in here. It's about 284 feet front to back, 126 feet across at its widest point. It's 33 feet deep right here, 20 to 25 feet deep in the back, depending on where you are. It's 29 feet tall, this window, and it's 63 feet across. This is the second largest aquarium viewing window in the world. There's one in Osaka, Japan, that's 2 inches bigger. Totally cool with that. If you take a look to the right, you'll see a sample of our acrylic. It's about 2 feet thick. You can examine it whenever you want. You'll find it doesn't magnify. Those folks over there are actual size. That's my kind of crab. We have about 85,000 fish in here. 4 of them are whale sharks. And I'll start talking about them as soon as we see them. This guy right here is a giant grouper. The giant grouper gets 8 feet long and weighs up to 800 pounds. You find them in Australia. These guys are a couple of 100 pounds probably. Our largest was 300 pounds when we put them in. Giant grouper do eat fish. A lot of people ask me, do they eat the fish in here? And the answer is sometimes. But our main goal is to keep these animals from eating each other by making sure they're well fed. Our theory is that a well-fed fish won't eat his friends, and that's generally true. We put about 1,000 pounds of food in here every day for everybody. And one more thing about grouper, they're all born female. They're what are known as protogynous hermaphrodites. So they're born female, there'll be one male in a community, and then when it dies, the largest, most dominant female will just become male. It's true, absolutely. Don't ask me how, I totally don't know, but they will. So one day they'll just refuse to stop and ask for directions. Oh, that's terrible. Now, this is a whale shark right here. We have 4 of them. Ralph, Norton, Alice, and Trixie. I don't know if you guys are honeymooner fans, but somebody here clearly is. And all of our whale sharks range between 13 and 17 feet long right now. However, when they're fully grown, we would not be a bit surprised if they were between 30 and 35 feet. The largest whale shark on record is 40 feet long. Now let me give you a little perspective. This is a 63-foot window and I'm standing dead center. So from me to the end of the window here, it's 31.5 feet. We would not be surprised at all if they got that long. And we can keep them in here at that size. We built this to hold up to 6 full-grown whale sharks, and knowing that they get 40 feet long. For fun, we would never do this. But if we stacked them nose to tail and as deep as we possibly could, we could put 209 in here. Again, we would never do that. The #1 question that we get in here is, what are those little yellow fish doing in front of that whale shark's mouth? Who wanted to know that? Yeah, of course you did, of course you did. And of course the answer is that they are running for their lives. Don't tell my boss I don't know. No, the real answer is that those are called golden trevally. Golden trevally are very small fish and they have a lot of predators. And if you're a small fish with a lot of predators, the safest place for you to hang out is very close to a big fish that won't eat you. There you go. This is Norton right here. As you can see, he's much bigger than the female who came by. The reason a whale shark won't eat the golden trevally is because they can't. A whale shark's throat is about this big. It's very, very tiny. A whale shark cannot swallow anything wider than a quarter. So it can be long and thin like a snake, or it can be squishy like a squid. And when they swallow it, it can't be any wider than a quarter. So we feed them krill, which are tiny little shrimp-like animals, and they eat about 33 pounds of krill a day. It's equal to 132 quarter-pound cheeseburgers. That's my standard unit of food measurement. Here's a sawfish right here. Even though they look like sharks, sawfish are actually much more closely related to stingrays. than they are to sharks. You can see his gills on the bottom. That's more of a ray or skate kind of feature, as opposed to a shark, like Trixie here, will have her gills above her pectoral fins on her side. That's one way you can tell if an animal's a shark. If you're like, is that thing a shark? I'm not quite sure. If you can see its gills on the side, then it is. But if they're on the bottom, then they're not. This is not an albino. This is a green sawfish. We have two species in here. Green sawfish, and then the darker ones are called large-toothed sawfish. Hey, there's Ralph. Right there, Ralph is our biggest whale shark right now. By the way, the females will probably be bigger than the males. That's common among sharks. These little silverfish right here, pompano. Oh, one thing about mating that's really cool, because of course, you know, we have males and females. We are hoping that they'll breed in here. We think that they have to be at least 20 feet long before they can mate. A female whale shark can have over 300 young in her body at different points of development at the same time. So they're basically constantly giving birth, and they're ovoviviparous, which I know that's a long word, but what it means is that their eggs hatch inside their body. So when they're born, they're like tiny adults. Of course, they're very vulnerable at that point because they're about a foot long, and any shark pretty much that's big will eat them. Oh, there's a tarpon. I love the tarpon right there. The tarpon get about 8 feet long when they're fully grown. They're unchanged in over 135 million years. Everybody, my name is Josh, and my friend Damon is right over here. If you're just joining us, make your way to your right or your left. And don't worry, I'm going to start this again in just a few minutes. Check out our Cold Water Quest Gallery or our Depot 4D show. Both are excellent. The Depot 4D show is a great animated feature for kids with a terrific conservation message. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining us at the aquarium.